let's discuss writing purposes. And when we are teaching writing in the classroom, we have to keep in view that the student write for a specific purpose. They have a specific message to convey, and there is meaningful output in terms of writing whatever they write. And this is what is the tragedy with teaching writing in second language classroom. Sometimes we tend to overlook the significance of writing purposes. Some teachers tend to use writing for the sake of writing, and the students are produced like as parrots, or just they rote learn, and they don't internalize what they are actually writing. So let's discuss the significance of writing purposes in two modules. In this module, I'll focus on writing purposes and its significance, and how the teachers, second language teachers, can help develop this skill. Writing with a specific aim is all the more important. If there is no aim, the students cannot make sense of what they are writing. So just to ensure that they understand what they write, no matter it's a broken English, no matter it needs a lot of feedback or repair. So the effective approach is just to ensure to make our students think that they have a specific message to convey. And the students need to understand the purpose of writing, whether they are writing for general English, just for general purposes, or writing for specific purposes, or writing for academic purposes. I mean, the teacher can help bring in the tasks which are useful for students even outside the classroom. For example, how to write a complaint to the bank manager, how to write an email to the head of the institute about fee reduction, giving them task of how to write to change your day or the ticket. So there are various tasks which the students have to face outside the classroom, and this is what the responsibility or the fundamental role of the language teacher is, just to make sure that the tasks are given, are planned in such a way which the students can relate with and which they can find useful even outside the classroom. And this is our job. You might be wondering why. Because this is important to reinforce to the students, to clarify to the students the purpose of their presence in the classroom. For example, if the students are there from class 6th to 9th and 10th, so we need to clarify that the purpose of learning writing is not just to pass the exams or attain marks, rather just to learn this skill, and different processes involved in learning skill. And in this regard, it's important that we need to clarify to our students whether they are learning English as a second language, as a compulsory subject in the Pakistani context. If we have students, for example, nurses, they will need medical English, how to communicate to the doctors, how to write note, and the notes are not always written in very well structured English, rather they are jotted down and they are communicated. So this is a kind of communication. Higher education HE, higher education students might need English for academic purposes, how to write their assignments, how to agree or disagree with a viewpoint, how to write report or thesis. So they need English for academic purposes. And in this regard, it's important to clarify them why they need references, why they need to summarize, why they need to paraphrase. And then business students need English for occupational purposes. So the kind of task we choose should be related to the students, to their needs not only inside the classroom but also outside the classroom. So the choice of tasks or topics should help develop general and specific competency, and this is what we have to strike the balance as language teachers, to ensure that the tasks given are not only help develop general competency but also specific competency. When I say specific competency, I mean nurses need English, medical English, business students need English for occupational purposes or commerce purposes, or students need English for general purposes, right? So there are, as we have discussed, the categories, like there are 3 categories: English as a second language, and then the second category is English as specific purposes, and then English as foreign language. English as foreign language might be needed for the students to when they want to go abroad and when they have English as a foreign language. Their general English at their institutes is in their own country. So it's important to note that the needs of the students cannot easily be understood, because various, for example, there is a mixture of 40 to 50 students. So 40 to 50 students may have different needs, may have different messages, different purposes. So it's the job of the language teachers to design tasks, effective tasks, which are relevant to the students and which they can relate with and which they can understand and produce written texts.